I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe you're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through, I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe you're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go. The only thing that I know, you were my gravity, but now I had to leave. I will let you go. Why do you think that I want? Why do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity. 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 I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not.
Warning. The Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here to NNSCRA TV's continued coverage of Season 2 of the NNSCRA Duracell Ultra Lite Series. Apologies for no broadcasts last week. Last week was hectic, did not have time to be able to record. So we're back resuming here this weekend, and we get ready for a double header here on both the Lights and the Cup Series side. Two different agendas, though, in both those series. Here in the Light Series this weekend, it's our first elimination race of the playoffs. At the conclusion of this Dover race here tomorrow afternoon, 7 drivers will be moving on. 3 drivers' journey will come to an end as they will be eliminated from competing for the championship. We already know, as mentioned, 1 driver that's moving on to that round of 7. 6 spots still remain for a driver to maybe win their way in, or for all 6 to point their way in at the conclusion of this weekend. And then on the Cup side on Sunday, it begins the round of 12 as 4 drivers have already been eliminated in the elimination race that we had last week at Nashville Super Speedway. So 2 entirely different agendas, 2 entirely different portions of the playoff schedule, if you will, but we'll be putting a lot more emphasis here on the light side since this is an elimination race weekend. 10 minutes here in pole day, qualifying for 30 drivers that pulled in here to the Monster Mile. The session has now begun, and you'll start to see drivers file their way out, looking to put down that lap time that is going to have them on the inside of the front row, which we have seen in the past usually pays out pretty good dividends in terms of where you're going to finish. Dover is more than likely going to be one of the more prevalent track position racetracks that we're going to have here in the playoffs. So we'll see if any of our playoff contenders might be able to put themselves up there near the top of the leaderboard and maybe put themselves in a good situation to move on into our next playoff race, which we won't be having that for a couple of weeks when we roll in to Arizona. So Colin Grace is already locked in, and we'll be talking a lot about the cutoff line here in just a few moments in relation to where the other remaining playoff drivers are to that 7th in the standings cut line, as it looks like RJ Bishop, who's doing the driving duties in the All-Star car at a Bishop Family Racing here this week, is now going to find himself on the clock. We'll start to see the lap time cycling on the top of your screen here in just a few moments. But Aubrey Powell, teammate to Colin Grace out of Haas Racing, has put together a good couple of first playoff appearances and is second in the point standings. Currently a total of 24 points. I'm sorry, I was going to say 14. 24 sounds a lot better, a lot more comfortable. 24 points ahead of the Simmons in the standings cut line. Cam Wright Jr. is currently 3rd in points, one of our multi-time winners on the season. He is 18 points above the cut line. Juan Garcia, another multi-time winner on the season, is 4th in points. He is 12 points ahead of the cut line. 11 points ahead of the cut line in 5th is Cody Majoric. Eli Bright is 6th in points. He's a total of 7 points ahead of the cut line. And the cut line driver coming into this one is your regular season champion, Roberto Crown Jr., in that critical 7th spot in points. Skylar Taylor is currently 8th in the standings, first car that would be out of the playoffs should we have had our round of 10 come to a close last week at Nashville. Total of only 1 point back though, so the 18 to 29 will be keeping very close tabs on those drivers here tomorrow afternoon. Kyle Langland is 9th in the standings. He is a total of 21 points below the cut line, and Jordan Anderson is a total of 23 points below the cut line. With there being 30 drivers in the field here this week, it is borderline must win for the 26 and the 89 to be able to advance into the round of 7. So we will definitely be keeping track of those two drivers here, not only today, but especially in tomorrow afternoon's main event. Little under 7 minutes to go here in qualifying. Lap times continue to cycle as we look at last week's winner from Nashville Superspeedway, Nathan Stapleton, joining the multi-win club. Stapleton now with victories at both Nashville Superspeedway and got his first career win in the Lite Series back at the Chicago Motor Speedway. Kind of a what might have been for Nathan Stapleton had he been high enough in the point standings to garner a playoff spot. We would more than likely be talking about him now advancing into the round of 7. Aubrey Powell right now 23rd on the board, second in the standings, highest driver without a victory that hasn't already advanced into the round of 7, and as mentioned comes in with a buffer of 24 points to the cut line. That's huge. In a 30-car field, if you can even have a 20-point gap, that means you basically have to finish the race inside of the top 20, and you're moving on. For Aubrey Powell coming in with a 24-point gap, Aubrey will only have to finish in the top 25, and Aubrey Powell will more than likely be moving on to the next round of the postseason. But currently sitting 23rd on the board last time that scoring showed. As we look at Jordan Anderson, he's one of the drivers we're putting a lot of emphasis on here tomorrow, as he is below the cut line by a good margin, almost in a must-win situation, 21st right now for him. And the number 89 has gone to victory lane here at Dover before, not in the Lite Series, but in the Cup Series. Many will remember that back when we ended up having those showcase races, we ended up having Tyler Gerdes, as Daniel Boyle's coming to pit road, and Nathan Stapleton. But Tyler Gerdes ended up winning in the Cup Series here at Dover in the number 89 for Joanne Atwood Motorsports. Subsequently, Quentin Moore, who was a rookie that year, started on the pole position, dominated the entire race, and went coast-to-coast pole to win to pick up his first career victory. So the 89 has won here before. We'll see if Joanne Atwood Motorsports can kind of adhere to what they were able to do back there on the Cup side in helping Jordan Anderson advance his way into the next round. Number of drivers you saw diving there onto pit road. This is a very difficult pit lane, maybe in the top 5 of toughest pit lanes to get onto here at the Monster Mile. And if we end up having green flag pit stops here during the course of the weekend, that'll make things very, very interesting. As we look at Skylar Taylor, only 1 point back from 7th in the standings, that transfer spot, and he's currently 3rd on the board. As a matter of fact, he is the highest running of the playoff drivers speed-wise here, as he's clocked in at a 25.156. So maybe trying to put Roberto Crown Jr. on the back foot as soon as the green flag drops here tomorrow afternoon. Good qualifying effort here out of the ST Racing Mazda. Top of the board right now is actually Sarah Fogelman, who, if she is able to close it out, would start from the pole position for the very first time in her career. Sarah going to be making her 9th start here tomorrow afternoon. As we look at Kyle Langland, 14th fastest right now for the World NOS Racing driver. Not bad. He'll start, looks like, about mid-pack. Another of those drivers, though, that is almost in a must-win situation coming to this one, 9th in the standings. He's got a little bit of momentum. He didn't do well at Road America. Road America's really killed their efforts there when the playoffs began. He did okay last week at Nashville Superspeedway, moved up a spot in the standings, but still trying to climb out of that hole that he pretty much dug himself back at the playoff opening road course. Saw Cam Wright Jr. coming down pit road. Cam's currently scored 24th of 30 drivers right now. Jordan Anderson just had a nice improvement. He just jumped up to 7th. As we look at Autumn Brooks, Autumn coming into this race currently 11th in the point standings. That's the highest of any driver that's not in the postseason right now. And right now, second on the board would start on the front row with Sarah Fogelman. It'd be an all-female front row, as there is the driver that comes into Dover with absolutely no worries whatsoever after Colin Grace got the victory back at Road America a few weeks ago. Locked into the round of 7. And right now, Colin Grace currently 10th fastest, so maybe looking for another trip to victory lane here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 two-time winners on the season. We've yet to have a 3-time winner. Eli Bright. The thing about Eli Bright and what he's been able to do here in this first round of the playoffs is actually really incredible, because he and, was it Kyle Langland? Yeah, they were the two that made it into the playoffs on points. Had no victories. They were put down into the 9th and 10th seed because they had no bonus points to lean on when the standings were reformatted. And Eli Bright's done a really good job here in these first 2 races. 6th in the point standings, 7 points to the good above the cut line. He's 16th fastest on the charts right now, but trying to be maybe the lone driver without a victory to advance into the round of 7, as we mentioned Kyle Langland's situation. Saw RJ Bishop was one of the first ones out on the racetrack, and maybe clean racetrack was important because he is 6th fastest right now in that all-star car. RJ going to be making his 6th start here in the Lite Series this season. His previous 5 starts, 3 finishes inside of the top 5, and 4 of those finishes inside of the top 10. So he's done well when he comes down here to the Lite Series. As Juan Garcia, 4th in the point standings, total of 12 points to the good above the cut line. 9th fastest right now for the multi-time winner. Looking good there in that Trackhouse racing machine. Teammate Sarah Fogelman currently top of the board. One of the Trackhouse cars that is not doing well, however, is Roberto Crown Jr. Well, I say that, he's doing better than he originally was. When I checked the last time, Roberto Crown Jr. was 29th fastest. They made some improvements here in the latter half of this session, and he's moved up now to 18th fastest. He just actually improved on his lap time. No difference in his positioning, though. 25.307. And remember, he's kind of, in a sense, battling with Skylar Taylor for the final transfer spot right now. 1 point separating those two, and Skylar is 3rd fastest on the board. But certainly much better improvement here for the 18 car, as he's now going to drop to 18th, now to 19th here on the speed charts. But certainly a far cry better than starting this race outside of the top 20. Nearing zeros on the clock, and Sarah Fogelman in the number 11 All-Star car out of Trackhouse Racing, tracking, pun intended, for her first pole of her career. Be the first time this season that the 11 would start on the inside of the front row as well, between the starts of herself and Cup Series driver Reggie Fogelman. As now Sarah just waiting for the session to close down. Looks like it will be an all-female front row, as Autumn Brooks was the only other driver besides Sarah to hit in the 24.9s. Sarah with a 9.86, Brooks with a 9.95. So a Toyota and a Mazda will be leading us to green here in tomorrow afternoon's race. And what a last-minute lap time for Cam Wright Jr. He was outside the top 25. Late stages, like really late stages here of the session, he just shot up to 4th with a 25.151, which makes him the highest starter of the playoff contenders here tomorrow afternoon. Look at that. He was, I believe, 27th, 28th before that, and that was with less than a minute to go here in the session. They found that lap time literally as a buzzer beater. Cody Majork with a great effort as well. Another of our playoff drivers. So actually, correction, Cody will actually be the highest star of our playoff drivers in 3rd, and he will share row 2 with Cam Wright Jr. Skylar Taylor will start in 5th, so you'll have 3 playoff drivers up inside of the top 5. Good effort there by David Dixon. So both the Southern Cross Racing Chevrolets are obviously fast, 4th and 6th for their efforts. How about the Bishop family racing cars there? Mike Tellier, RJ Bishop right behind each other in 7th and 8th. Jordan Anderson, really crucial situation here for him. Good starting track position as he'll qualify 9th. And Michael Turner is going to complete the top 10. Let's see where the rest of our playoff drivers are going to start this race. Looks like Juan Garcia in 12th. Colin Grace, who's already locked in the next round, 13th. Eli Bright in 17th. Aubrey Powell, 19th. Roberto Crown Jr. kind of fell down the running order there late with those lap times coming in. He'll start 20th. Kyle Langland in 22nd. Nathan Stapleton, last week's winner there in 25th. We got to go a long ways down before we find anybody else. Actually, no, is that all playoff drivers? I thought there was one that I didn't mention, but maybe that was all of them. No, that was all of them. Okay, so they're all going to start fairly decently then. They're all going to start at least no lower than 22nd. Langland's going to have a lot of work to do, though, and Langland, 9th of the 10 playoff drivers, so we'll see. I mentioned that this is not exactly an easy racetrack to pass at. Track position is pretty premium, but we'll have to wait and see what kind of a package we have here with these Xfinity cars, and if drivers that are starting mid-pack can work their way to the front, especially big opportunity if we, as I said, have green flag pit stops with how difficult this pit road is to get onto. But congratulations to Sarah Fogelman. That's a resume builder for her, as it's her first pole of her career. First time that the 11 car here in the Lite Series will start on the pole position. Hope you guys enjoyed this qualifying session. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, part of the crew today. We've shown you all your qualifying efforts. It subsequently is your starting lineup for tomorrow afternoon's race here at 3 o'clock Eastern from Dover. Next on tap will be tomorrow at 1 when the Cup Series drivers head here onto the Monster Mile for their qualifying session. Of course, the Cup Series, they go green on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. But until whenever you tune in here for the continuation of our race weekend from Dover, thank you all for joining us. I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NCRA TV, all flying racing at its best.
The following has been a presentation of NNSCRA TV for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of the NNSCRA is prohibited. NNSCRA would like to thank all of our loyal fans, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.